Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Pakhtun Professional Canada, which is a leader in virtual community services in the year 2022, 2020 and 2021, we have done around over 200 live programs on empowerment and capacity building of the individuals and families so that they can do prosperity and get jobs because of the pandemic situation. So in that context, today we have brought from Staffmax specialists and Syed Ibrar Hussain he is the Vice President Ontario Operations. Mary John, she is the Senior HR Consultant. Both belong to Staffmax Recruiting, the Staffmax Staffing and Recruitment Agency. And Sajad Ahmad will be the host. He will assist me with the question. Warm welcome to both of you, Ebrar and Mary. Knowing that the today's session is very important because of the pandemic and the winter, and a lot of people are looking at jobs. And when I see your website, there are a lot of jobs available there. So maybe so we want to fill that gap so people can easily connect with you and you can help them connect them with the employer. Okay. So warm welcome. And my first question is, I will straight away go to the question because of the time frame. My first question is from both of you. Tell us about Staffmax services. And the second portion of the question is, why should people in a professional, those who looking a job, come to you?
Okay. First of all, everybody, I hope everybody is fine and safe. Let me tell you about Staffmax. Staffmax, we are a employment agency. We have offices across Canada. We have offices across US. We have offices across Europe. We have offices across Australia. And we have offices. We are about to open an office in Middle East. And Staffmax, basically, we are a professional employment agency. We have clients all over across Canada, US, and other countries. So currently, like we are hiring, you could call us a journalist HR firm. We have jobs from general labor to IT to admin jobs, finance, engineering, all sorts of jobs we have currently because of labor shortage and this pandemic. Every organization across Canada is struggling for employees. So Staffmax can help you our clients find the right labor force for their staffing needs. And as far as question is concerned, that why what makes is better, or I should not say the better, what's the difference, why people should come to Staffmax for jobs. We have specialist recruiters. If you need job for IT sector, we have a specialist dedicated recruiter who only deal with, or they are expert in IT jobs. Recruiters like Mary, she's a specialist, and she's been with us almost more than 1.5 years. And Mary, we have other recruiters, they specialize in engineering, IT, whether it comes to general law, labor, admin, and finance. So we have a specialist recruiters to help you. We can like place you at a better place, or in as a whatever job you're looking for. So our recruiters can help you guys.
I would also like to add that we are a set of recruiters, or a dedicated set of recruiters who would focus on to the client's part as well as the candidate. So when a client is saying they're looking for so and so person, we have the right set of candidates on our database, which we help to come across to the candidates and explain what the job is and what skill set it's totally matching with the clients, and we make them understand what exactly the clients and the candidates. And it's not just that we place them and then we move aside. It's just that we are constantly getting in touch with all the clients and the candidates. We are constantly following up with the candidates just to make sure that they are at the right path and they are happy where they are, instead of just putting them, okay, this is a job, you take it and move aside, go forward. It's not like that. We are, I would say, constantly following up with the people as well. So we are just like friends, I would say.
Sajjad bhai, any question?
Yeah, first of all, thank you very much, Pakhtun Professionals Canada, for arranging this such a good opportunity for our community members to connect with people like Abrar and Mary and their company. So, first of all, thank you very much, Abrar and Mary, for joining us to
Thank you.
spare some time and answer our questions for the community. So, my first question is that. As you know that you have a lot of different jobs, but today our main focus will be IT. So my first question is that what is the demand of the IT in current situation due to this pandemic? What is the current demand, and what is the supply of the IT professionals?
Okay. Currently, look, IT professionals, they are always in demand, and it's pre-pandemic or post-pandemic. It's these guys are always high in demand, and especially this pandemic and lockdown and all these restrictions. So most of the organization, they are promoting, or people prefer to go on, like e-commerce or online. Everything is online. So even demand has increased, because every organization, if they had like 4 or 5 people, now they need like sets of developers, IT managers to manage their operation. And that's the reason, currently, it's in high demand. We are hiring, for all major banks and other major, like, financial
Mhm.
institutions. So, like, currently we have 300 plus open IT jobs. And like every other organization or every other staffing agency, we are also, it has become challenging to find, like, right people for the job. I don't want to get into detail, why, but it seems that, there is a high, these guys are in high demand.
Okay, this is actually a great sign that we have a gap of supply and demand. So, in the previous years, like people was just looking for jobs and there were no jobs available. So, in a way, it's a good sign. But can you tell us, like, what are the if there is a greater demand but the supply is low? So, what are those conditions, or what are those things that is just not coping? The supply is not coping with the demand. Mary?
I would say like once when we post the job or when we say there is a demand for not only IT for any other sectors. Yes, last year or I would say quite some time it was quite a difficult time to find people suit for the job or people weren't enough or I would say there weren't enough people for the job. So there was a crash or I would say there was a market was kind of like tough. It was difficult to find people, but when there are like supply or when we say the jobs are high and the people we aren't able to find enough, yes, we kind of like source out or find different ways to find people so that we could fill up the position. It's not about filling up the position, it's just catering the needs of the people as well as the clients as well. And if Abrar would like to add more to it.
Yeah. I would like to add, because of pandemic for past 2.5 year, a lot of projects were on hold, right? And
Right.
nobody knew what was going on, so now things are opening up. So all these organizations, they are, whatever projects they put on hold, now they want to initiate it. So that's the another reason of sudden increase in demand.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Bra,
you.
I have a question.
Mhm.
You said that you have 300 IT vacancy waiting for the people to come and grab it.
Right.
That's what I
Yeah.
understand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, what is the salary range? Like, is it high paid? What would be the normal salary range? So I have two, three questions one time. One is the salary range from
Mhm.
the bottom to the top.
Yeah. Okay. Let
Uh,
me
and,
answer.
and is these jobs are part-time, casual, or full-time?
Okay. So, answer to your first question is salary range varies. It starts from, from 80 up to 130, 140K, and all the IT jobs we are hiring, I would say most of them are full-time permanent employment, okay, with bonus and plus benefits.
So my second question is related to this one. People are sending you resume, okay,
Right.
and cover letter. Naturally, these are cover letter is the face and resume is the body.
Mm-hmm.
and because the employer will see the face, and if like the face, the cover letter, then we'll read the resume and we'll call the person for the interview. So when people submit you cover letter and resume, do you give feedback to the client, or you just directly submit that resume and cover letter to the employer?
Now, when we get the resume, right? So let's suppose we advertise job, on different platforms, and we get a resume, and with for every job we get thousands or hundreds of resumes, right? So recruiters like Mary, their job is to screen, and they pick best resumes, according to the job description we got from client, right? So they call, the potential candidate, screen them, ask them question. Of course, we are just recruiter, right? We are not like IT professional, we are not technical, so we read, we ask the question according to the job description, and based on the answer we forward it to our client for the, for the review. Once, because we submit it to our HR, right? So the process is, we submit it to our HR, to our client, and they review it, okay, and then they forward it for technical. Then, in most cases, our client's HR, they call the candidate, they, ask them whatever set of question they would like to ask, and based on that, then they forward it to their technical team or hiring manager for technical review or technical interview. Once, their technical manager or hiring manager, decides, they choose, let's suppose for each role we submit 4 or 5 resume. Out of 4 or 5, our client wants to usually interview 2 or 3 of them, so then at that point, we communicate this to our potential employee or our candidate. Okay, client has decided to, call you for the interview because of pandemic, so most of these interviews are done remotely,
Yeah.
either via Zoom, Teams meeting, or Skype, or other, or phone call, right? Then they set up the meeting, okay, they send them the team links meeting, and their technical team interviews our candidate, and they give us feedback, if they want to move into, second round of interview. Okay, in most cases they call them for the second round of interview. Second round of an interview is like, it's more, hiring manager or top managers or director, they would interview candidate, and then we get the feedback from our client, that they would like to move forward with this candidate or not.
Cool.
Sajad,
Okay. I think it's a question for both Mary and Abrar. So, what is the process? Like, there are a lot of job sites like Indeed or something. Is it a good idea to just send resume directly to you guys, or it's also a good idea to just apply on Indeed or other job sites? So, what is your take on this?
I would say every job, we are searching candidates for, it's advertised on our website,
True.
or also sometimes we advertise, depending on type of job. Sometimes we advertise on Indeed, and sometimes we use other platforms. So I suggest, you could either go on our website and apply online. So if a job is posted, let's suppose a Java developer, right? You apply for a Java developer, it goes to the concerned recruiter. If Mary is hiring for Java developer, or XYZ recruiter is hiring, but every resume we receive either via our website, or we advertise on Indeed or Zip, or anywhere, right? It gets stored in our database, So let's suppose, maybe your skill set doesn't match for this job, and we may get another job next month, next week, so if your resume is in our database, so whenever we get another job which matches your skill sets, because if we get a job from our client, let's say Java developer or Oracle developer, what Mary and other recruiters do is, they go and they first check in our internal database, right? If they find enough candidate, then we don't have to advertise that job in any other platform. Out of 4 or 5 or 6, whatever, they get internal from our internal database, then they call the candidates, and they ask them whether this resume they found in our system is updated one or not. If that is updated one, or if it's not updated one, then they ask them to send them the updated resume, and they screen them and they submit it to our client. So I suggest, it's always good to, like, if you feel comfortable applying through Indeed, wherever you saw, just apply online, so it goes automatically, gets stored in our system.
Okay.
Uh,
Mary, you would like to add something on this?
Yes, I would like also to add like if a candidate or if someone is looking not only for IT like n number of jobs, what we do is we do advertise as Said said we do advertise the job. So there are n number of people applying for the job, and there are different set of or platforms where they could apply for the job. There would be online portals like you find Indeed, Glassdoor, or ZipRecruiter. We do our job is like post and advertise to so that it could reach n number of people and they see yes we do have the Staffmax is having this job at this location at this time. People do apply, so we do call in, we make sure we call all those candidates who has applied for the job. We don't assess like oh they fit or they don't fit. We are irrespective of that, yes we do call all those people and make sure that we are reaching out to the right person. And also there are different set of platforms. It would be you can also do networking, right? You could do networking, connect people through LinkedIn, or you could meet do some networking meeting and where there are hidden jobs where they don't advertise on the social platform or any other portals like Indeed, or they might be having some internal openings. So it's always good to connect people through LinkedIn or do some networking meeting, go to some connections, etc., and get some referrals as well. So this will also enlarge or broaden your ways to find jobs and settle into something that's I would say perfect or fit into it. And yeah, you could also do like job fairs as well, like
Okay.
attend job fairs to find more jobs.
That's really a good suggestion. So, what I understood from your answer is that you suggest our viewers that they should just give your resume to you because the first selection would be from your database,
Through
right?
us.
So, I think it's a good idea that the viewers or the candidates should just provide you a resume with a nice cover letter first, so that will just end up in your database,
Hmm.
because the first selection is from the database, and then you go to the other side. So my suggestion to the viewers will be just to send resume to you guys.
okay,
That's
so
okay.
Thank you.
Ebrar, I have a question for you. In 20 and in 21, over 200,000 young talent immigrated to Canada,
Right.
for study purpose, and they are really IT. Majority of them are IT related. Do you also help them find a job, the young talent that came as a student because they can work here part time, like maybe 20 hours or maybe more,
We help.
And my second part of this question is, what is you if the answer is yes, what is your success rate? How you help them?
Okay, we help everybody. For us, it doesn't matter. Whether you are a newcomer or you have experience. Anybody comes to us. We try our best to help them. Yes, we get a lot of jobs. Part time. So we also help international students as well. Those who are on a study permit. Yes, for their only during their semester or during their term, they're allowed to work 20 hours per week. So we send them, because we get here and there like odd jobs as well, where like our clients call us, they need help for 1 day or 2 day or for a week. So in that case we use we send students to work. And as far as success rate is concerned, I would say like 90 plus 90% of the time we are able to find jobs for our candidate. And for those, if we don't have anything, let's suppose you have a special skill sets, we might not have that job at this point. But if we have your resume in our system, so maybe down the line next week or next days or next couple of months, we might get job matching your skills and your experience. So in that case, a recruiter, whoever is working on that specific job, they will call you to check your availability, whether you are available. If you are available, then they will move forward your resume to client.
Okay.
I
So
have another question, and then Sajad, you can go. Also, just a little bit briefly tell us about that COVID has, how does COVID has impacted on the staff mix recruitment as an agency? Is it your positive experience, negative experience? Can you elaborate on it? Like,
Like since this pandemic and this lockdown and restrictions, so everybody is working from home. Positive point is that now everybody is working from home. Everybody work with their own pace. Negative point is that we would love to meet everybody and see them face to face. Sometimes if you ask me personally, I would like to. I'm old school. You could call me. I would still prefer to meet people face to face. Shake hands. And especially newcomers. They are. Of course, you come from a different background. Things are different here. So talk to them, calm them down. And console them. And yes, there is a positive point. Yes, like thanks to technology, it didn't make much difference. But yeah, I personally also sometimes miss seeing my colleagues face to face.
Yeah, to your agency. So how does it COVID pandemic has brought more services to Staffmax, or
Yes, currently, yes, because of short labor shortage, we are very busy. Every staffing agency, every organization across North America, is just struggling to find workers, employees. So it has affected in a
In
positive way. I would say
partial
that
way, yes.
yeah, we are very busy at this point.
Okay.
Sajad?
So I have a question. Anyone can answer, Mary or Abrar. Coming back to the immigrants, as we know that there are a lot of immigrants from India and Pakistan with IT degrees and certification.
Mhm.
What is the success rate for those immigrants? Because there is a myth that to find a job in Canada, you need Canadian education or Canadian experience. But for those immigrants, if they don't have both of those things, so what is their success rate, and what is your experience with them?
Uh, Look,
Yeah, go
when
ahead.
when it comes to IT is IT. It doesn't make much difference. I think sometimes clients are a bit reluctant because maybe Canadian work culture is different from back home, wherever you come from. So in that case, I suggest newcomers, whatever job come your way, just take it. And mention it in your resume. Everybody understand. If I'm screening or Mary's screening, once all of us were newcomer in this country, so we understand. It's just because of sometimes client are reluctant, because of communication and because of cultural differences. So, and some clients, they don't care, as long as they call for interview, and if you can do the job, they will hire you.
Yeah,
So
for the IT, I guess, like it's the platform or the tools or the setup that they use, the skills that they have, that's been used everywhere. So, yeah, I don't think it's kind of a myth when people say, like, oh, they are not able to find jobs in IT. I guess they might not be able to understand like where to reach out or how to access or how to do the networking. But once they get to know, I guess the platform for the IT is moreover the same. The skill sets that they use or the work that they have done is moreover similar everywhere. So yes, I believe they'll be able to find something.
and if you can just put it in percentages, so what is the percentage of for the success rate, like for just exclusively for immigrants? Like if we just like in 100 candidates, if we have 100 immigrants with IT, how many people can get just job like in IT sector? Like if we just put it in figures.
What do you think, Said? Like it would be around 50% or 60% because
Yeah.
for the IT, yeah, it's for the IT. The kind of, as I've said, the kind of jobs or the skill sets are kind of similar. So it's always easier if someone is looking for a developer or a tester. The kind of skill set is kind of same for every kind of job. So even if it's an immigrant or someone who is born and brought up here or someone who has studied here or is working over here, the chances are kind of similar, I believe. So I would say 60% or 70% to it.
Oh, I like this answer, Mary. Thank you very much. I think this is a very encouraging for our immigrants, especially with IT degrees, that they can just come here and they don't need to go through schooling and experiences. So it's a really good sign, a very encouraging sign for immigrants with IT degrees and IT certification. Do you have any question, Manan? Or I have?
I have a question, but before I ask a question, I want for a very little short break, 30 seconds. So you stay with me, don't go away, Mary and Ebrar. We will
Mhm.
be back in just 30 seconds. Okay, so Mary, I have a question for you. Do you recruit only Canadians, or people from abroad can also send you a resume and cover letter for job?
No, we
Yeah.
only hire local candidates, because simply we are not equipped to handle candidates from overseas.
Okay, so and what are the main area, like staff makes recruitment agencies looking for? Like what are the main areas? Like one is IT you talk about. What are other areas?
We do have for the admin, we do have for the sales, we do have like customer service, sales and management, IT. Then we do have like professionals working under the construction field, all those like senior levels as well. And we do into the healthcare as well.
We basically, I would call ourselves a journalist, a staffing firm. We do all sorts of job, from like, general labor, construction workers, construction manager, construction directors. We even filled in past roles with like VP, director level of construction engineering, admin, IT, finance, sales and management. We do all sorts of recruiting.
Yeah,
Like,
and Ebrar and Mary, I see you are working in Ontario,
Hmm.
mhm,
and specifically maybe in Mississauga one area. So
mhm.
do you also provide recruiting people from Nova Scotia, Manitoba, Winnipeg, and Ottawa, Montreal, like any other provinces and cities too, or it is only just based in GTA?
No, as I said in earlier, we have offices across Canada. So we even hire for Ottawa. Currently, we have a lot of jobs. In Ottawa, we have recruiters. Working in Ottawa. They are local. So we hire. Quebec, Montreal, everywhere. Canada, US. As I said, across Europe. Currently, our management team is in UK. We are about to open an office, so they are in UK interviewing potential recruiters to work with our team. We also are in process of opening office in Dubai in Middle East. We have got some jobs for in from Middle East in oil and gas sector. So we hire I would say across the globe, anywhere.
Yeah, Mary, I have another question, and then Sajad, you can ask your question. What tools would you suggest to professionals or those who are looking the job so that they should be aware of, and they should learn, like, for example, the cover letter is one of the tools, so that they
Sorry,
should learn.
I didn't understand your question. What's that?
What would be the most important tools, that you can suggest to someone when they send you the resume? What would you suggest them so that they can succeed and get a job?
Oh, you're asking about the resume?
No, no, the tools. What other tools they can use it for someone who want to succeed in a job?
I would say is like different ways to apply for the job. Or if you're asking about the resume, yes. I believe I'm answering the right question. Are you asking about the resume, like how to fix on your resume or whatever?
Whatever tools
Let,
you
let,
use.
let me rephrase the question, Mary, for you. I think Dr. Manan is just saying that what are the different tools to just like, for example, advertisement of the job, and
Hmm.
then the interview process, and the for before interview the resume and the cover letter. So what should like a candidate do from the start to just end up in a good job?
Oh, okay. You're talking about the resume and the cover letter. So this, if any candidate is looking for a work for a particular skill, if they're looking for something into the IT, it's always good to update their resume based on the skills that's on the job description. If the client is asking for so and so, it's not just because they have that skills. It's there in the job description. They would have to mention that, but they would have to go through the job description, study what the job description is. If the skills are based on, or they do have the skills, yes, they would have to rephrase it on their resume just to make sure that yes, it aligns with the job description, their resume aligns with the job description. And also there are ways to work onto the cover letter. It's always good and pleasable if you have a good cover letter, right? So if you have a good cover letter and if you have like something that matches with the job description, I wouldn't say it is like the whole exact copy of your resume, but it's kind of an application or just a summary of what your resume holds on to.
So
And
What
Yeah.
you are saying, it should be a customized cover letter and customized CV.
CV, exactly. So it should match because some people they do have those skills, but their resume doesn't have those keywords what the clients are looking for.
Looking
So
for.
they say, okay, this resume it's not a good match for the kind of the thing or the skill set that we are looking for. Whereas the candidate has all those experience, whereas he or she hasn't mentioned that, yes, then that's going to take a different point. So always go through the job description, align your resume with the job description, and understand what it is. And if they have the skill set, yes, always mention it on your resume so your resume stands out and it reaches the right person. You end up in a good job.
Yeah.
Do
So
you have the service that you help them in cover letter writing, resume writing, and also prepare them for the interview? Do you provide those services too?
I will answer to that. We it's not possible for us to do provide this kind of services. Yes, when we screen our candidate, for instance, if somebody is applying for Java developer, right? If their resume is not strong enough or they don't mention enough, like their experience in Java, so Mary or other recruit, they might advise during the screening, for initial screening, they might advise candidate to send them updated resume and emphasize more on Java or whatever, if, for instance, AWS or cloud, whatever role they are hiring for, or for data engineers. So we cannot we don't provide this kind of, like, we don't rewrite resumes, or we don't provide resume writing services, but we can only advise, and
Yeah, very
adding
true.
to, yeah, and adding to, because the first of all, we get a lot of, when we post a job, we get hundreds of resume, right? So, and we are also working under tight deadline from our client. Our target is to, client is expecting resumes from us as soon as possible, right? And adding, I will, like, answering to your previous question, Mr. Manan, I would like to give some tips for whoever is searching job. The, as Mary said, keywords are very important. Another advice would be, like, keep things simple. Like, sometimes we get resumes 10 pages. Mary and others, nobody has a time to review 10 pages of resume. Keep it short, keep it simple. And it should be your resume should be targeted, or for the job you are applying for. If you are applying for Java developer, or cloud developer, so you should just keep it. We don't have time to, like, review long resumes. If Mary opens, or any other recruiter, or even if I'm reviewing resume, because I have another hundreds of resume in pipeline, right? So if within first 10 15 lines, if I don't see much, like, it doesn't attract my attention, it doesn't get my attention, most probably they will not read the whole resume. So that's why, the keywords are very important. Make sure that whatever, your resume, your job you're applying, it should be according to the job description. That one thing. Another thing I would like to add is, if you are searching for a job, most of the CRM, or these databases or job portals, like Indeed, ZipRecruiter, or whatever, they are designed for most updated resume first. So what I would suggest them, every night before you sleep, what you should do is add add and delete one word in your profile. If you have created your profile on Indeed, add or delete one word, and upload the same upload the resume. So what happens is that, because when we get the resumes, there's like hundreds of resume, and most of the systems are designed, or the algorithm is designed to put most updated resume first. So if your resume is within 10, 15, or 20, then chances, your chance, it would increase your chances, and you will see the you will get more and more calls from recruiting companies or direct employers.
Another question is, Brar, that
good suggestion.
job market, in Canadian job market, what is the emerging trend so that our youth, or maybe those who may want to do a career change, so that they can go for it,
Mhm.
because uh, things are pretty different now because of the pandemic has changed the entire world, the dynamic has been changed. So what would you say on the Canadian job market trend now today?
Look, currently, if you talk about IT sector, because of this pandemic, e-commerce or web commerce, is on the rise, right? It has like niche like skill sets. If you have, like, for instance, artificial intelligence, like data analysis, these are the fields in demand. And of course, like, if you are a developer, so, and like cloud, AWS, Azure, these technologies are, or if you have skill sets, or you want to get into IT, then I would suggest, go for these artificial intelligence, data engineering, or data sciences, or any other, like for instance, Java is still, we are hiring for a lot of Java developers.
Sajad, do you have any question? And then we have short up time, so we will be closing up shortly. So Sajad, any question you have?
I think you guys just give us a lot of good suggestions for our viewers. Just one last quick comment on the interview. Like, I know you guys are recruiters, but what are those suggestions? What do you suggest for the candidates, that how should they prepare themselves for interview? That would be a great help for our customers or viewers, that how they can prepare for interview, like mock interviews, or what are your suggestions to them?
Like, if you apply for a job and you get a call, usually Mary or any recruiter, usually they call you, and or they send you an email and ask you for your availability, right? When would be a good time to call you as a candidate, right? Or as a potential employee. So, whenever you decide to, let a recruiter know about your availability, also before that initial call, you should go through the job description, okay, and make sure, you have mentioned in the resume, whatever resume you used for that job, it matches, okay. And if anything is missing, you can inform the recruiter. Keep, as I said, keep simple. If Mary is asking you question about Java, then you should answer about Java, what you have done Java. Because as a recruiter, we have no interest, what other skills you have. Like, if they want to know about Java, they are hiring for a specific job, then they want to know more about that job. So make sure that your resume reflects your experience in that specific technology, or in that specific field.
So how can someone reach you? Can you tell them? Because there are a lot of people watching you and maybe watch you later on. So how
Okay.
they reach you?
As I said, most of the jobs are advertised on our website. I would suggest apply, on our website online. Mary and whoever recruiter, they're working on it, they will get your resume. They will, screen resume, and if they fit, if they think that your job or your resume fits the job profile, then they will call you. Or you can also call us. But I suggest, always apply online. That's, saves your time and also our time.
Okay, so we are now concluding. Sajad, so if you don't have a question, then give a message to the community, and then I will ask Ebrar to give message to the community. And if there is anything you want to add of the staff mix, staffing and recruitment agency, if you want to add something there, or you want to give a community a message, and the same, I will ask Mary Joan to say it either in English and the language that you may speak. Feel free to say something in your different languages, so people from different background know what your services are and how can they reach you out. So Sajad,
I
you
think I will conclude in the last. I think let give us chance to Ebrar and Mary first, and I will conclude in the last.
okay?
Yeah.
So we can start it from Ebrar. You can go.
Okay, so as I said earlier, Staffmax, we have jobs across the board, from IT to admin. If you see that a job doesn't fit, or we don't have job in your field, don't worry. Just go on our website. For instance, if you live in Mississauga, send us your resume for at mississauga@staffmax.com, or you live in Toronto, send us your resume at toronto@staffmax.com, or if you live in Ottawa, then send us your resume at ottawa@staffmax.com. So it gets uploaded in our system. So whenever we have job matching your skill set, one of the recruiter, they will give you a call. And if you have any question, anything, just visit our website, and there are phone numbers mentioned for each city. You can call them. Please feel free to call our recruiter, and they will answer your questions.
You want to say something in Urdu for the people who may speak Urdu language or Hindi?
मैं सिर्फ यही बोलूंगा, जो भी न्यू कमर्स हैं या जो कोई भी जॉब सर्च कर रहा है, ठीक है, every day make sure that you're applying for at least 20-30 jobs. ठीक है, हर दिन जो है वो 20-25-30 jobs के लिए अप्लाई करें. Make sure that you are reading the job description and writing your resume according to the job description. And once you applied for the job, give us at least 2-3 days to review your resume, because as I said, we are very busy and we are working under tight deadline these days, especially, so we need time to read and review your resume. So whenever we get chance, we will review your resume, and we will call you. We are here, to help employees, and also we are here to help to our clients as well. So just send us your resume. If you don't see anything online matching, whatever you're looking for, give us some time. One of the recruiter will call you back.
Okay, Mary, so you can say in English, and because I know you speak a couple of languages, so I will appreciate if you can also speak it about Staffmax in different languages, so those who may have challenges in language, so they can reach you out.
No worries. I would like to thank everyone who has watched us, and thank you very much. So, as I say, I would always say that please do apply for all the jobs. You are always welcome to go to the Staffmax website. It's www.staffmax.com. Visit the website. You come across any openings that matches with your skills, you can always apply on the same. We post all our jobs all throughout, like all the job portals and the LinkedIn. We get through the referrals as well. So we try reaching newcomer senders as well, so that everybody gets to know where we are posting the job and what kind of jobs we have. So if you're still looking for work, you can always reach out and apply for the same. And there are different ways that you could apply for the job, either networking or through referrals. Right now, job fairs aren't happening, so there are virtual job fairs that are happening. Try participating in it. Try meeting people, get to know what they do. And when you apply for a job, always make sure you understand what the client does, or read about the company, understand the job description, align your resume based on the job description, and I guess it'll work wonders.
You speak in some other languages too. Little bit, a short message.
എല്ലാവർക്കും നമസ്കാരം. ഞാൻ മുമ്പേ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ തന്നെ ഞങ്ങളുടെ വെബ്സൈറ്റ് staffmax.com www.staffmax.com നിങ്ങൾ വിസിറ്റ് ചെയ്യുക. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾ ഏത് ജോബ്സാണ് നോക്കുന്നതെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ അതെല്ലാം അവൈലബിൾ ആണ്. എപ്പോഴും ഏതൊരു ജോബ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലും അത് സ്കിൽസ് ആയിട്ട് മാച്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നെന്ന് തോന്നുന്നെങ്കിൽ ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി വിളിക്കുക. വി ആർ ഹിയർ ടു ഹെൽപ്പ് യു ഔട്ട്.
You can't say what was the language, this one?
This is Malayalam.
Do you speak any other language?
No.
So you speak, okay. So
okay. I will like to add, for US job we use www.staffmax.com. For Canadian job we use www.staffmax.ca, and then we have our Australian website as well, so that is www.staffmax.com.au. For Europe we have www.staffmax.fi, and for Middle East we have www.staffmax.ae.
Thank you, Ibrar, so much. Thank you, Ibrar. Thank you, Ibrar Hussain. Thank you, Mary John, for the time. It's a Sunday. I know it's a busy day for everybody, and thank you so much. You empower, and you're building the capacity of the individual so that they can find a career, a job in their own profession. It's really amazing. Staffmax is doing an amazing job. This is the first recruitment agency that I know in the last 25 years. There may be some other, but the one that I know that they provide like IT jobs, 100+ K, like salary, like this. I just for the first time I know. So maybe I might have a backup knowledge, but this I know for the first time. So thank you so much for the coming. And Sajjad Ahmad, give a message to the community, and then we will end up.
Okay. I think the message is very loud and clear, and I'm very thankful for Ibrar and Mary for their valuable suggestions. I think the take-home message is that there is a good sign that there is a great demand for IT people, and the supply is short. So if anybody is interested in IT career, so this is the good time to apply for all those jobs. Mary and Abrar, they just talk about a lot of things, but the conclusion is that uh, uh, um, that for the even for the immigrants, they can hire from the people who don't have any Canadian experience or Canadian education. So this is a good sign for the immigrants that if they don't carry both those things, so there is still a chance that they can get a job. What Mary and Evar also mentioned, that keep your resume very updated. The cover letter should be very nice, and keep it very simple and up to date. Otherwise, they will just uh, they will not just attract the recruiters. Another thing they mentioned, that just put all the keywords in your resume, because there's a lot of resume, and if if your resume is very long and they don't have those keywords, so they will just not select it, of this resume for the job. So I think, the take-home message is just keep your resume and cover letter very simple, and put all the keywords according to the job description. او په اخر کې زه پښتنو خپل ورونو خویندو ته دا وایم چې آی ټي کې نن سبا دې سره ډېر زیات ښکلي جابونه دي، او د دې سیلري هم ډېره ښه ده. او زما په خیال دی چې زموږ چې کوم یوت دی، زموږ چې کوم نوی کل دی، هغې له دا پکار دی چې په آی ټي کې خپل ځان اکوپ کړي، خپل ځان تعلیم یافته کړي، او په هغې کې جابس ډېر زیات اویلیبل دي. او هغه که د پاکستان دی او که د انډیا نه او که د هر ځای نه، هغې ته دلته جاب ملاویدی شي. نو زه به دا وایم چې اخره کې چې دا ډېر ښه پروګرام دی آی ټي، او په دې کې د ټول مطلب دا دی چې ښه سیلري اخیستی شي، او هغې خوارانو سره اوس ډیمانډ زیات دی، او د آی ټي پروفیشنل ورسره کم دی. نو دا یو ډېره ښه خبره ده چې یاره که مونږ مطلب په دې کې خپل یوت لږ انټرسټ ډیولپ کړو، او په دې کې دا هغې دا سبق ووایي، نو هغې ته دلته په اسانه باندې جاب ملاویدی شي. نو زه بیا یو ځل مننه د منان صاحب، د میری او د ابرار صاحب مننه کوم چې دوی راغلي وو د اتوار په ورځ باندې، او دوی ټایم راکړو. Thank you very much for joining us, Mary and Abrar.
So the last message is that, connect with Staffmax Staffing and Recruitment Agency. Abrar is here, Mary is here to help you. Here are jobs, one for you. They can help you to get one and make connection with the Staffmax. Goodbye for everyone. I will see you next Sunday.